Hey guys, we're back. This is ChargeGo. Here we have on the right a 2020 Tesla Model 3 SR Plus, and on the left we have the 2021 Model 3 SR Plus with the LFP battery pack. So here in this video we're going to do sort of compare and contrast, or mostly just discuss the differences in these two cars. The first major difference are the new headlights. The 2021 model has a bulb you can sort of see on the side, whereas the 2020 model has no bulb. The struts on these rear trunks have been pretty controversial and failing and whatnot, but the 2020 model, interestingly, has struts, but when I go to sort of open the trunk, you gotta like lift it and then it's sort of assisted. So there's like shocks, but it's not like the 21 model, or if I show you guys right now, I could sort of just walk up to it, open it, and it just does its thing. So here it's a combination of a shock and some beefed up thing that could just push the trunk open. And also, while we're on the topic, the 21 model has fixed the problem with water just dripping into the trunk with sort of this like rubber seal thing. So they're definitely getting better in that regard. Last thing with the trunk is it has the sort of automatic close. Yes, I mean this is typical Tesla build quality, but you're able to just sort of press that and it closes. This is a bit of a weird observation, but the defrosters on the rear of the 21 model are sort of going this direction, the horizontal direction, whereas on the 2020 model it has an interesting design where it goes this way. So it's just a difference that we just want to note for this video. The next big difference are these windows. So on the 2020 model you can see it's just one piece of glass, but on the 2021 model, I guess they figured for noise cancellation reasons, they went for the sort of the Mercedes style of going double pane with some sort of insulation in the middle. So that's pretty cool. The next major difference, which everybody pretty much knows, is the black trim. So, black on black looks really, really clean. And here we have the 2020 with the chrome trim, which, this one still looks really, really good. Here you got to see the chrome door handles, but then you can sort of see fingerprints on it and whatnot. And obviously the chrome trim all around. But they're still really good looking cars. So we all know about Tesla build quality, right? And obviously they've got pretty good at it, getting sort of the quality issues down over the years. But one thing I did notice on the 2020 model is with the headlights, the gap here is pretty significant. Like, I mean, I have a fat finger, so it's not going to fit through there, but when I compare it sort of to my car, the finish is much better, so worth noting. With the 2020 model, Tesla decided to go with the high gloss finish, as you guys can see on these window controls, on the door control as well, and also in the center console. So it was an interesting approach, but over time they figured people were having problems with like scratches being super visible, and this finish wasn't very durable. So while it kind of looked cool, it didn't really last. And also with the older 2020, they didn't have the wireless charger. As you can see, it was more just a storage block. But and it also has a silver door trim right here, as you can see. Now on the 2021, we have the black door trim, so very sleek look, black trim all around basically. But they switched from the high gloss finish to the matte finish. So as you can see, the door controls are matte. They're also illuminated, which I don't think they're illuminated on the 2020. The steering wheel should be the same. It has the wireless charging pad, which is super clutch. You don't need any wires. Oh, we also have a beautiful matte finish on the center console, which is more durable and just looks better in my opinion. And you can see the door cards are pretty much the same. The steering wheel controls pretty much the same, as well as the steering wheel. And honestly, didn't even know if this was worth noting, but the sun visor The bracket for how it's attached on the older Tesla is sort of the old traditional, sort of just clips in. But on the newer Tesla, it's sort of, they up the design, you know, as they always do, and it's sort of just magnetic, and there's no hook, so that's pretty cool. The frunk space is also different on both these cars. So the 2021 model, they added a heat pump. So for those people who live in colder climates, you know, this is probably very helpful. The frunk space is supposedly smaller in the 21 model because of the heat pump, but I don't visually notice a great difference. It's more of something we just read online, and it's something we thought was worth noting. Another interesting observation would be the tire pressures. So on the newer SR Plus, Tesla suggests using 42 psi, whereas on the 2020 version, they recommend using 45 psi. These aero caps, you know, people think they're really ugly. On the older car, they are kind of ugly, but in my opinion, you know, they had changed the design a little bit. It's not like super noticeable, but they definitely made the effort to pretty them up a little bit, and I think they look pretty good, especially on a black car. For those trying to figure out, should I get a 2020, should I get a 2021, I think it's more important to sort of look into the type of battery you're interested in purchasing. This one, having the LFP battery pack, you know, it likes to charge 100%. At about 100%, I get about like 254, 255 miles on a full charge. And again, this battery pack is supposed to last twice as long as the nickel, cobalt, aluminum, the NCA battery pack on the normal Model 3s, which Tesla's still manufacturing. So this car, you know, the NCA battery pack likes to be charged to 80%. You know, you can charge it to 100% if you're going on a road trip, but it doesn't like a high state of charge like the LFP, but it's definitely more sort of energy dense, whereas the LFP isn't. So the NCA battery pack on 100% charge on this 2020 model with about 30,000 miles gets about 218 miles of range. But when you charge it to 80% like you should be doing on a day-to-day basis to prevent further degradation, or at least slow it down, the car only gets about 175 miles of range. So on this car, it has 175 miles of usable range, whereas this one has 255 miles of usable range. So in our opinion, this car is far superior by that metric as opposed to the 2020 model. So we really think you guys should look into the LFP battery pack if you're looking into a standard range plus. Just to quickly summarize, the main differences that you guys should be looking for, or what you guys would really be interested in between these two cars, would be A, the chrome trim, B, the hubcaps are like kind of different, but it's not like significant. The headlights, again, are slightly different. These ones sort of have a bulb, whereas these ones do not. Another difference would be sort of some of the interior pieces where, let's say, the newer car, the car will open. The newer car has the wireless charger right here. This piece sort of, it doesn't exist in the 2020 model, and it has like a matte finish. The other one has sort of like a gloss finish, which can get scratched pretty easily. Okay, the 2021 model also, on the steering wheel, this piece is sort of black, the scroll for the 2020 model. The door seals are black on the 2021, but on the 2020 they're chrome. The door panel, this is finished in gloss, but for the 2021 it's a matte finish. So basically most of the gloss finishes in the 2020, they sort of figured, hey, these are getting scratched and they're looking ugly over time, so they fixed that by just making it a matte finish. Another difference which we've read about but we're not quite sure, it would be sort of the sunroof. The 2020 might have a lighter sunroof than the 2021. Another difference would it be the trunk. You know, the trunk for the 2020, you sort of have to like lift it yourself, but then the struts will lift it further. But the 2021 sort of just does it by itself. And I think the last major difference is the battery. So you guys really need to just look at range. You know, the LFP can charge 100%. Will get you to about 250 miles of range. The NCA battery pack, you cannot charge it to 100%, or you should not all the time, which means you're only going to get, in this case, this car only gets 175 miles of usable range at 80% charge. And, you know, it could degrade more, who knows. The newer cars, I mean, I have a friend who just got an SR Plus, and the advertised range is 263 miles, but he charged it to 80%, and I think he gets less than 220 miles of range on, you know, an 80% charge. So these numbers are important. The LFP battery pack is made in China, but it seems to be better. It's cheaper to manufacture. Sure, the only downside is it doesn't do well in like colder climates, but we live in California, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, so in our opinion, the LFP battery pack will probably hold its value the best out of every single SR Plus, especially if Tesla decides to stay with the NCA battery pack, even though it's more expensive and logistically harder to manufacture. But again, we already have like sort of the lowest trim model, so we want the most amount of range we can possibly get. And yeah, so get the LFP if you can. If not, really look into the older Model 3s that you're interested in getting, because range can be a problem. And that's about it. Let us know if you guys want us to make any other videos on these two vehicles, or if there's anything you want us to sort of clarify that wasn't super clear in this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and give us some feedback. You know, we're interested in seeing what you guys like, what you guys don't like. We're sort of new to this video thing, so there's definitely things that'll get better over time, but let us know.